Another question from the audience. Yes, please.
Yeah, Jordan Bujilo, Sofia Security Forum. How do you assess the role of Russia in these elections? The Parliament and European Commission already warned about possible Russian meddling in the election. Do you think it's a factor? By the way, I watched today some of Bulgarian candidates. I mean, we don't need Russians to spread pro-Russian propaganda in Bulgaria, believe me. But do you think it is a factor? Do we do enough to prevent Russia influencing the results?
I can start as Poland, yes, exactly. As Poland has this label of knowing everything about Russia. Ursula von der Leyen, which is not true. Ursula von der Leyen had even this pitch for the Polish public. Oh, you know everything about Russia and history. You have the history and foresight on Russia. We should have listened. We should have listened. That's the usual mantra. Poles love that. Whenever you want to appeal to our vanity. Every election is an opportunity because it's a moment of weakness for the institutions, and it's clearly so in these elections as well, that we may have as an effect, more agents or people aligned with Russia perspective in the next parliament and in institutions as well. The last elections we had open up a whole sweep, and we're still sweeping, how our institutions were penetrated, including public companies in Poland, by people specifically linked to GRU and FSB. So-called Collegium Humanum, Google it, has been set up a bypass way to obtain the special MBA on a fast track for those who would then sit on public companies of strategic importance. And there were many who were simply, because of that, basically placed through by the previous government in these companies. Now, the recent investigations have demonstrated Collegium Humanum has been directly linked to the Russian institutions, and people who were employed there in the public companies, but also in many government institutions had influence, but also they were taking intelligence about our strategic assets. What I want to say is that it's not about messages and the narrative so much. It's about the effect of the elections that we need to look at. The narrative, I think you're right. There are all different kinds of narratives, but we're past the narrative battle. Narratives were spread for the past 20 years or so. Now we are in the times of a real war, where the narrative served to weaken our position in this war that is happening. That's why we're not having ammo production already. We don't have defense union as we should have had already, because they've been weakening us for the past 20 years or so. Now, are they dangerous today for us? I don't think that much. I think it's much more what we are, if we are dangerous to ourselves because we were poisoned by this Russian virus from before. Are we, capable of pulling our strength for the vaccine? But I don't think Russian meddling is today the problem number one. It's the effects of it that were installed in our societies already.